and welcome to the PM Model Show, your weekly roundup of what's going on, what's happening, what's occurring, what people are moaning about, what kits are coming out, and all the rest of it with me and Matt for the next, well, however long we go for. Anyway, you all right, Mr. Matt? How's it going?
I'm good, mate. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Had a few days off, so I'm back now.
That's it. Have you back to a pile of orders, is it?
Yes, that was yesterday, ploughing through orders and today, so that's good because we have been busy, which is nice. But yeah, I had 4 days off, just very nice. I'd say to relax and recuperate, but it didn't quite work out like that as usual. So but back at it now. So
I know what feeling. It's always the way. You just feel guilty when you're not working and you end up doing bits and pieces, and that's the thing. So you're never usually fully off. That's the trouble, unless you're abroad and lock your phone away. Yeah,
that's it. Don't turn your phone off. It's constantly there. That's the thing, isn't it? So, but yeah, no, it's been all right. Yeah, got some more done I needed to get done. So
cool.
All good and back on it.
Absolutely. So, obviously, again, we've had various bits and pieces coming out. We've got restocks, which is one of those things we've been waiting on. And obviously with the COVID thing and that, some of it's been delayed, but it looks like it is all starting to come in just before we get another lockdown at this rate, it would seem.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. At the moment, we've got lots of stuff, literally, it's here-ish. It's either clearing customs in a lot of cases, or obviously it is with the distributors, and then it's filtering its way down to us. So over the last few weeks, we've had various bits and pieces coming through and then going out and all the rest of it. But as I say, the big ones that we're still waiting on literally are, we've got some F-15s due in any second, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. The Great Wall Lobby stuff is due in pretty soon in the next, probably fortnight. And then we've got a Zukimori order coming in the end of the week, but it's not the F4Es. The F4Es are doing in November,
right?
Beginning of November. Mm-hmm. I think, like I say, the Great Wall Lobbies one's due in the next few weeks. I think it's 5 weeks. I think 4 or 5 weeks that's due in.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got that up on the screen, or Phil's got it up on the screen. So everything there will be back in, and hopefully now we'll have a nice consistent sort of supply of Great Wall Lobby stuff as well.
Yes.
And there's bits and bobs coming in all over. To be honest, it's all going to kind of filter in over the next month or so, I think, which will be nice. Like I say, I think we're doing the C-130 soon. There's a Revster one should be in soon.
Hercules, yeah,
should be in soon. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. And actually, the Tornado as well, the big Tornado, that's doing it in November as well now.
Again, I saw all the pictures, like probably a lot of you have done.
Yeah. Exactly, it seems to be done and complete, and I think it's going to be shipped and and on its way. So,
as I say, I've seen the photos obviously up on the net. I can't really show them because I've only seen them on one site, and obviously they're copyrighted. As soon as we get a few more open ones, I'll put them up. But it does look actually quite nice. And again, I know a lot of people are very sort of sceptical about the price because it's not cheap. But you have to remember the Tonka is a big aircraft. It is a hell of a lump in 30 seconds. I know obviously a lot of the people have seen the Rebel one, but this is a brand new tooled one. And from what I've seen, obviously from those pictures and that, it does look really nice. It seems to have everything you could ever want out of a Tornado. And obviously the big difference is it's bang up to date. So it's the usual thing. I've heard people not slating it already, but unfortunately in this world we live of social media, people are happy to kick a kit even though they haven't seen it, and they see some pictures. And I've heard people on about saying, it's got the wrong weapons in it, and it's got this and it's that. And obviously I think a lot of people have to appreciate it's, although this is the GR4 version, they are going to do the other versions out of it. So that's why the bits are in the sprue. So that's why you have got weapons obviously that the GR4 never carried, and it's part of it. But it's nice for a change. They've started with the GR4, because let's face it, I thought they might start with the Italian version.
Well, I thought the ECR or IDS would have been the first ones they've done, but they haven't. And like, I talked to Nathan about it last night, and apparently, because he was moaning about the fuel tanks, but it does come with Hindenburg tanks.
Yeah, the big ones.
But they were thinking because it came with the smaller ones and like say, the weapons layout and stuff, but I think it is actually going to be okay.
Yeah, so do I. From what I can see, because I read one article and people were moaning about it underneath it, saying that it's got all the wrong weapons and all the rest of it, and I'm looking at it thinking, well, if it, obviously from a the GBU laser guided bomb point of view, that's what it carries. And the other weapons that it's got all in there is for the other version. So it's not like it can't be built, it's unbuildable. That brigade are already out at the moment. I know people are critiquing it right the way over, but I assume the version that is out and it's been built up, it looks all right. It's a test shot anyway, so there could have been tweaks and things made to it. But from my point of view, looking at it, it looks actually quite nice. It's a hell of a lot more detail from the Rebel version.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head. It's what it's up against, and it's up against the old Revell one, which is, to be fair, lasted and been the only one on the market for a long time, and people have built it, and even when they're built, they look fine. But obviously, everything needs modernising at some point, and Italy's done it. It's took a while. We've said over the past few shows, it's about 4 years in the making, but we're going to see it. So, and it will be built. The thing is, it's nice. It is the GR4 version that's out, but actually, if you want the nicer schemes, you want the Italian or the German ones.
German ones, yeah, that's it, absolutely.
The ECR or the IDS versions, because you get the better.
The nicer schemes and the tail art and all the anniversary stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for the guys who run the Tornado SIG over here in the UK, they'll be in element with it. So yeah. No, I must admit, I'm quite excited for it. It's one of those aircraft. I probably won't be building it straight away. It's not the type of thing I would do, but I could see myself building it in the future because of what it is. It's a GR4. It's really nice. Obviously, I've never done a 32nd scale one on film. I've done the 48s and 72nds, but not actually a 32nd one. So, never say never. Next year or perhaps a year after, I might delve in and have a go with it. Well, by that time, hopefully, then you'll be doing the Luftwaffe one, won't you?
Well, yes, this is that's it. One for the Luftwaffe 6, so Nathan can guide it round.
Yeah, we'll do that. So, interesting. It'd be nice to get it in the flesh, and like I say, when they're in, you'll get to review and have a look at, and get your grubby mitts all over it and give your opinion. So,
absolutely,
things that are winging its way to you, or will be over the next few weeks. So.
Yes. Yeah, as I say, the big thing is I got lots of stuff coming, obviously, from Matt and from other people as well that sent me, including, I have to say, this as well, which has literally got to be, I'd say, the fastest thing ever. It's made it all the way from Latvia in under 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, impressive. How?
That is
we can't even get a parcel up the road in that amount of time.
Yeah, but
shall I just have a quick show?
Yeah.
Just hold on, if I have an overhead.
Here we go. Talking of things, because obviously that's a World War One armoured car, Belgian one at that.
Yes.
But there seems to be sort of a spate of them at the minute, because Mini are bringing out an Austin World War One armoured car, and there's the Rolls Royce one, and obviously CSM's done a few others as well, haven't they? So it seems to be flavour of the year.
Definitely do. But
as I
say, I do have to thank Edgar. Edgar reached out to me beginning of the week and said, would you like one for review? And I was like, oh, absolutely. So he literally messaged me yesterday because he needed the phone number for the courier. And so I gave it to him, and it literally turned up about 10 minutes ago. So literally, just as we were about to come on air and start recording this, the door went, and there it was. So, but yeah, big thank you to obviously Copper State Models for this one. I'm not going to open it. We're going to keep that for a review, but obviously I'll do that maybe for Friday. We'll get the review of that. You've got the SU 30 SM coming up next. The new one, and then I'll get this one done on the back of it. So yes, very, very nice indeed. But thank you to Edgar for sending this one out for me. It looks very nice, something a little bit different, as you say, nice with the World War One.
Yeah, definitely, because what is it, the Lanchester, that's the one they're doing it, the Lanchester and the Romfeld, was it, that you you did and stuff. So yeah, they're interesting subjects, definitely, a bit different.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, it is that thing, isn't it? We often talk about how it's nice when things it's a little bit different. It's not samey.
Yes.
Definitely with that. That's something, as I say, I've never even heard of it.
I mean, to be fair, let's say, before, like, Winged Up Wings were around, World War One sort of subjects were just thin on the ground, weren't they? Let's be honest. It was so overlooked, to say such a massive conflict that it was. Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, there was armoured vehicles used and armoured cars, and obviously the aircraft and all the technology, how fast it moved during that conflict is pretty amazing, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's nice to see them represented at last. So
absolutely, yeah. I'm going to say, and I think, as you say, anybody who's seen the reviews or built one of these knows that Copper State, very wing-esque, as in the instructions are really nice. They're very nice to follow and all the rest of it. The moulding on it is incredibly crisp, very, very nice. And again, when you've got small details like, spoke wheels and the various bits of brass and that era of stuff, it's very technical. And they obviously usually do a very, very nice job. So I'm actually quite looking forward to having a sneaky look at that and do the review of that one. So I might get that done tomorrow. Yeah, and then I'll be up with you guys on Friday. So
I have to say, I've never even heard of that as an armoured car, if I'm honest.
Nor have I.
I've never heard of a Minerva, is it?
Yeah, I must admit, when he said to me, would you like to review the Minerva, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Google. So, I got you. Right, that's it. Fair enough. But yeah, I must admit, I hadn't got a clue. Not a thing about that.
I've got to say, looking at it, I don't know if I'd feel very safe actually in it.
No, it does look like a water tank on wheels, admittedly.
With its pram wheels, and it's an armoured pram, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Mind you, it has got the dual ones on the back, giving it a bit more grip and all the rest of it. But it's an armoured pram. But, I
suppose, whatever worked at the time. But
and I like the way it's all sort of grey camo-ish with a bit of brass, which you probably polish.
We've got to have that bit of brass to polish.
Got to have a bit of brass to polish.
You downtime, and you get the brasso out and polish it live. But no, again, brilliant, interesting subject. Something different. Yes. Something will look really, really good in model shows. Really, when they come back on,
Yes, hopefully.
Good stuff. So we have actually had some new arrivals.
Yes.
They're not actually up yet. They will be, obviously, by the time this goes out, fingers crossed, and you get your internet back.
Yeah.
But this is coming to film as a review. So this is the new Rodin Peacemaker in 1/1/4.
Yes, very nice indeed.
Fancy box art of the Northern Lights.
Aurora Boreas.
Yeah.
Bring it slightly across so we can see the front. That's it.
There you go. Sorry, am I out of shot? There you go.
Yeah, you're out of shot slightly.
I should look at the little top screen and not myself, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm upside down now. I'm doing really well here, aren't I?
Doing well here. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Perfect.
With it. So, yeah. So, again, it's a perfect scale 1/1/4 for a Peacemaker.
To be honest with you, we had a quick sneak peek in the box, didn't we? And it's about the same size in 1/4 as a 72nd Lancaster.
Yeah.
So there's not much in it. So to give you an idea of the scale, if you've ever built a 72nd Lancaster, or a B17, I should say, it's about the same scale. Yeah. So it just shows how huge that thing is. It's a massive, massive lump.
It is big, yeah, it is. Especially the 72nd one, like I say, which I've got. It's massive. It's just, What do you do with it? Also, we've got a new company that we've had in called Vespid Models. Now, these are their first two new arrivals, 72nd again. The Comet tank, as far as I know, is the only one in 72nd that's been released. The other one was, I think Matchbox did one in 76, and to be honest, if anybody else does one, but these seem very nicely detailed, and obviously I think the mouse has been done a few times, but again, something different. Especially in 72nd, you get some photo etch, you get especially with this Comet.
Tracks.
The Comet, you get a barrel with it, which actually isn't white, it's brass, I think.
All right, turn brass, nice.
It's a turn brass barrel. Does it say on the side? I can't read that thing there. Look.
I can't read it from here.
That side in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they look really, really nice. Again, I'll be sending Phil a review sample of these.
Lovely.
To have a look at. So they're pretty good. And then also we've had a pretty big restock of Gecko.
Yeah.
Now, Gecko seem to be concentrating on British subjects, shall we say.
Yes.
So this is their combat set number 2. We've had number 1 out, which I presume is Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Set up for the troops.
So
they're quite nice. And also, which is a nice touch.
Very nice. We've got a weapon set.
So
you've got all the sort of, sets down in there, and the Bergens and the bits and pieces and pistols. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So that's quite nice. So you can add that if you're doing your Husky or your Warrior or whatever else modern you're doing for this time they were about. So that's quite nice. Also, now this is quite cool. So we've got the Special Forces support set. So ignore this bit in the back because you don't get that obviously in this set, but you get the figures.
Yeah.
But as a separate,
you can add the vehicle.
You get the vehicle.
Very nice.
So I think that's quite cool looking. It's a bit like the Banana Splits wagon, isn't it?
It's Bobcat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in, which I think again is quite interesting. It's quite nice. Some British subjects as well, especially modern stuff. Tends to get overlooked.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll just show you the side of the box. So again, Phil, we're getting review of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's quite. Yeah, it does actually. I quite like that. And also again from Gecko, last two from them. If I can pick them up. They bought out a couple of Bedford trucks.
Very nice.
So you got the water one and just a normal service wagon, I presume.
Yes.
Well, again, as far as I know, I think the only other one are Accurate Armour. I think did the top one. I don't know if they did the bottom one, but yeah, again, something else I don't think's really been released, especially 35th. So, yeah.
Oh, it's nice. Interesting subjects.
Interesting subjects. Here you go. Quite like that one. You do it in desert as well, look.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, they'll be up on the site as soon as. So put that down there.
Very nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. That's the nice thing we were saying recently. There's been a plethora of like quite interesting models instead of your normal. Well, I know we have had Spitfires and various things, but again, it's quite nice because we've got some interesting stuff coming through.
Especially
and again,
modern stuff as well. You know, like with the Warrior and obviously the Husky and the MRAP from Ryefield, and there's definitely some nice modern stuff coming through and a different sort of. I mean, obviously the Meng Russian thingy vehicle that we've got in. Yeah. What is it? One of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't think. It's gone.
I've got it here now.
So, some nice stuff.
Cool. Very nice. Well, as you say, it's one of those things. But I'm looking forward, I must admit, to the Zucamori Phantom.
Yes, again, November, like I said, that's doing. So the E. So
I must admit, because it'd be nice. We haven't seen an F4E new one since Hasegawa did it in the 90s.
Yeah.
So again, it's one of those long overdue. And I think that's that thing, isn't it? We often say about it's not very old. It is. It's because, here we are, 2020. A lot of us, I think when you get to a certain age, you forget time's moving on quite a bit. So that kit's now 30 years old, which in the great scheme of it is ancient. But, it still holds its own. Still a very nice kit. But as I say, it would be nice to having that one come along, definitely. I must admit. We are looking forward to those.
Yes, and you will definitely be building one, I would have thought.
I would definitely be building one of those. Yes, being a Phantom fan, I must admit, I would be nice one on that. As I say, I built enough of those with shark mouth on, trust me.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be markings in the box with one with the shark mouth, because I'll be definitely doing that one.
I do like the long nose one to prefer to the other one, to be honest. I don't know. So hopefully they'll do an RF. I think they're going to have to do an RF as well.
It's going to be the next one down, I think, definitely.
It's logical, in it, for them to move on and do the RF version now. They've obviously tooled up the long nose one, so be good.
Well, it'd be easy to spot if they do, because it would just be the different bit underneath for the front, and then to square it off and all the rest of it. If they don't, it might be an entire different front on it, but we will see how that one sort of goes with it. Cool.
And in other news, we've got, as we've been sold out of our Bedford, obviously, refuelling truck, IBG have announced one.
Right, that's it, yeah.
So they're doing one in 35th, which is just a fuel truck without all the gubbins on for refuelling, and they're doing a 72nd one as well.
Yeah.
So they'll be due out, I don't know if they do out, I presume, for the back end of the year if they've announced it. But yeah, so after all that, you see, they're all jumping on it.
Like buses.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, to be honest, obviously, with IBG, because they've already got the chassis and the cab moulded anyway, so whatever back they put on it, he's already there, isn't it? The sort of underpinnings are already there, the chassis and all the main bits, so... Again, the only thing else, obviously, with the bigger one being 35th scale, obviously, it goes better with 32nd.
Yes.
It's one of them. We're back into that scenario of, all right, you could do, if you're doing it on a thing of perspective diorama if you want, but 32nd obviously would have been a more ideal scale for the fuel truck, but I presume you can put it in different settings really, but yeah.
It's just that crossover though, isn't it? As soon as you get like airfield equipment, you're just into that thing, because obviously it's 35th scale with 32nd, as I said, as long as you haven't got them next to each other, you can get away with it. It's that 72nd, 76 thing. If you got them apart, it just so happens when you get a figure next to it, he's either very short or a bit tall.
Yes, that's it. It is the figures really, and obviously if you put it on like an airfield diorama, you're going to need some figures. It's all like you say, if you place it right, you can probably get away with it.
Yeah,
but you've got to, 30-second would have been more ideal. And I don't know why even new manufacturers perhaps don't click onto that and do some more 30-second vehicles to go with aircraft.
Again, I think it's just that thing, isn't it, for a vehicle thing? Your 32nd for your aircraft, but all your vehicles tend to be 35th.
Yeah.
So to make the crossover, it's a case of what's going to happen, because as soon as you do like a refueler or something else like that, and you say we'll do that 32nd, and then you've got the thing about all the other vehicles a 35th still. So where do you do it? Again, we've often spoke about scales on the show and things like that as well, especially on the other show. And it's that thing that why we ended up going down the 32nd, 35th, type of thing. It was a little bit odd.
I think it's Tamiya who did the 35th, isn't it? They started the 35th sort of genre off, and the 32nd was obviously before that anyway. Was Revell and Monogram and I presume companies like that back in the day. I don't know what. No, all I'm getting at is like perhaps there's always new companies coming out now in this hobby, isn't there? In another one, they always concentrate on something 7-second, 48th, 35th. But I wonder if somebody would take a chance and do a 30-second vehicle to go with the 30-second aircraft. I don't know. It's just a thought.
It's just that weird thing. It's like all helicopters are 35th scale,
which I think works. It's odd when they do it
because it goes with the armour and that's. And vehicles.
32nd. I think that's odd when they bring out, like your Wessex one. I can see here. 35th is just the perfect scale for it. The figures are all there. The equipment, everything that will go with an helicopter is there. It's like Revell bring out 30-second links. Well, bring a 35th one out. You can do more with it.
Yeah.
It's sort of, it's one of them arguments, isn't it? Really, but. It is. I think the industry it is what it is, isn't it? It's set with the scales, and that's how it is.
I know that is the trouble, though. I think unless, as you say, unless you get a new manufacturer comes along and literally shakes it up and says that's what we're going to do. Yeah. I think that will always be the thing, because everybody, it's just that line of products, isn't it? You have your 72nd, you have your 48th, as I say, you have your 32nd, 35th, and that's how they are. Those four, all right, 18th if you're going to go down that route as well. But that's how it is. But I think you would probably need a new manufacturer to come along and say, right, we're going to go down the 32nd route. Yeah. Or we're going to go down the 35th route, and that's what you sort of stick to, and do a series of. But I don't think anybody's got the balls really to take a punt on it and do it.
I agree with you. No, I do totally agree with you, because I think obviously they see that they've got to do the research on what sells and what don't sell. Do you know what I mean? And it's it's a lot of money to invest in something that you really don't know if you're going to shift any units, and that's what it comes down to. It's business, isn't it? But. It would be nice just to somebody to test the water, shall we say? Yeah, that's even if it's one of the established manufacturers, and just we'll release this 30-second whatever to see if we do get any sales off it. Don't know. I wouldn't have thought it'll happen with what's been happening this year. Obviously, in the next,
how the world is at the moment, as I say.
You never know, do you? You never know in the future. It's nice to see, to be honest. Obviously, a few 48 crossovers now. Obviously, Tamiya did it, didn't they? And a few other companies. Airfix have obviously bought their, which you can't get unfortunately anymore, but the Albion refueler and a few other bits out in 48 to go with their sort of Hurricanes and Spitfires and whatever. So, I mean, I think like we've discussed with 32nd, it's a bit of a niche market.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't it? I think if you're into it, you're properly into it, but it's big. It can get a bit oversized. So, don't know.
It is. As you say, as soon as you're into that niche market, again, you need deep pockets from a manufacturing point of view, because you're not going to be shifting as many units as everybody else. Yeah. So, you might be sitting on your stock a while whilst it's sat in a warehouse, or you say you do a limited run, and then you're into the thing of the price going up. So,
I mean, I'd like to, I know we'll never know, but I'd like to see the figures of this new Invader that's just come out from Overbath, the 32nd one, what units are being sold.
Yeah.
Obviously, like they bought out the B24, didn't they? And, the P61 a long time ago.
Yeah.
just see what people, if people are buying them.
Again, we've said about that, obviously with the bombers, it's that thing like the B-24, it's a lot of plastic for £100, wasn't it?
Oh,
for
God.
the Liberator.
Yeah,
because it was full on. But it was sort of lacking in detail in the various bits and pieces, and that's that thing, when you go up to the scale, you want all that really nice detail into it. No different really when I did the B-17. Some of it was just a little bit, could do with just a little bit more in certain areas. But again, it's that thing, at a price for £100, it was a bargain. As you say, it's a lot of plastic for your money, but then you are back to that thing where I think a lot of manufacturers have turned around now and sort of been burnt, shall we say, with the bigger kit. So it's interesting to see Hobby Boss carry on and pushing through with it. I thought that they might have shied away from it now. Especially in recent months, we haven't really had much out of them, and Trumpeter obviously the parent company, and stuff like that. But now again, it seems to be ramping up again because Merit seem to be on the move, and that new company, which we assume is all the same thing.
Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, because Hobby Boss is obviously Reebok's the 1/18 262, and the 1/18 Huey's out, isn't it? Which are I think some of 21st century toys. Is it?
Yeah.
And obviously Merit, which has now been renamed I Love Model, is it? I think called. So they concentrate because you can get like the big 1/18 flat gun, can't you? And there's loads of stuff. The 1/18 Harrier, all sorts. What are now Hobby Boss, and obviously through Trumpeter, the parent company, or whatever. Again, it's big stuff. It's
Yes.
You're getting RC size not far off, aren't you?
Absolutely. I think the trouble is, as soon as you go to that scale and you're up into 16th scale, details become blocky and horrible unless they are redone and scaled properly and added all the little subtle details which you don't get in 48 scale or 32nd. But when you're into 18th, you need them there, and I think that's the trouble. Then you're looking at, as you say, it's almost like museum models, because you need to have that level of detail into them, which means either a lot of scratch building. To actually add all those into it and to add those textures and the various things into it. But the trouble that I've always found with the big one, like the Century Toy Series ones, I've done a lot of work with those in the past, and I've re-riveted them and you've re-panel lined and various things like that to bring them more to life and all the rest of it. But you are into almost, it seems, toy scale, and unless you've got that time and drive to literally super detail. And again, you're weathering and you're painting, you have to take it to a whole new level and stuff like that. It's one of those ones where I think, again, niche market. You've either got the guys who are going to hang it on the wall and it's just a giant one and it looks great, and you get the guys who'll super detail it. But unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of people in the middle who will just, like they would with a 48 scale or a 32nd scale. I
think you've hit the nail on the head. It's not the casual modeler, I don't think, the tackle.
No.
One for size. I mean, price. I think they're cheap for what you get. They're not.
Yeah, it is a lot of plastic for your money.
But they are more for those who obviously like the bigger stuff or like super detail. It's like sort of that market. So obviously the company that Hobby Boss is and Trumpeter and they can obviously afford to take that chance.
Yes.
And produce these big kits or take the molds on and buy them from somebody else or whatever they're doing. Where obviously some of the smaller manufacturers, it's just like, no, we'll stick to what we know, 48 cents a second. We know bread and butter. We're going to sell tons of them.
Yes.
We'll stay in business, basically. I think that's it. The key to it, isn't it? But again, I think it's nice that they're out there and you've got the option. So now you've got a decent 70-second one, if we talk the Invader, and now a decent 48 form of the ICM one at long last.
Yeah.
And a 30-second one. Hopefully they are going to do the Marauder.
Yes.
I think that's criminal. That plane's been overlooked for so many years. I mean, we've had the Asagar one in 72nd, which is hard to get. We've had obviously that special boxing from Edard. So going form with Asagawa, it's probably going to get re-released because they've re-released, the Saber's been re-released, the F-104, the Crusader, you name it. Usually what comes out in an Edard special boxing gets re-released from Asagawa at some point. And then you're struggling. There's a really old Airfix and Matchbox one in 72nd, which you probably don't want to go near. And 48 one is just the old monogram one.
That's it.
Again, it's a bizarre thing that aircraft has been so overlooked over the years, isn't it? Because it did play a pivotal part in World War II.
Absolutely.
Most theatres of war as well, I think. So, don't know. Perhaps fingers crossed, ICM will do it.
Yeah, well, as you say, when you think about it, if looking at ICM the way they're going, I wouldn't be surprised if one dropped in because it'll fit the line perfectly and it just carries on their series.
But again, going back to the Marauder, fantastic schemes again. You can do the silver one, obviously the olive drab one. You can do it for D-Day stripes. You can go from, like in Italy, they was based there, and nose art and everything. It's got everything again that's going to sell an aircraft to me.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. I think with the nose art as well, it just sells it. Clever little bit of marketing, nice pictures, things like that with it as well. It's one of those ones. It just goes. It's like B-17s and stuff with the nose art on them. They look fantastic, and it's a very sellable aircraft just from a box point of view.
Well, that's it. I think you put either a shark mouth on something or
it is. Yeah,
it's going to sell in it.
Yes, definitely.
You are going to get sales off it. It's a bit of a no-brainer in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've often said, I'm clearly not, and probably never will do, but if you were ever to release, a plastic kit, I think it's got to be that right look to it. So again, if you can get a shark mouth onto it, as you say, or it's a striking scheme or something else like that. That's why I always find it difficult when manufacturers will release a kit and like the box art is just uninspiring. Yeah. Because again, as humans, we are drawn by the look of something. And again, it's one of those ones, especially if you're in a big market. You've got to make it look right. And we've often said that's why Edard recently have been nailing it every single time with their stuff, because you just buy it for the box. So
but they always put good decal options in as well, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, perhaps the Mark 1 Spitfire is not the most inspirational colour schemes, but the aircraft that'll sell itself. The Spitfire will sell itself. The 109s, obviously, they'll sell themselves because it's a 109 and they came in cool schemes. But obviously, when we had the Marauder in, or the Desert Babe, or a lot of the other limited edition stuff, they've all got nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Even when I get to send you one, obviously the MiG-19. Because it's a Czech one. The Czechs just do. And
again, the Czechs do fantastic.
Brilliant.
Schemes. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yeah, they do. They do some fantastic schemes on their aircraft. It's it's fact, isn't it? You can't get around it.
No.
So yeah.
Cool. We have a small announcement for the end of the month, don't we?
Yes, we do. We are going to do a Halloween auction.
Yes. Do we dress up?
Bill's going to get dressed up in all his goth gear.
Do I get me hat?
Yeah, you can put your big top hat on and
I'll get me thing on me clobber from that famous evening we had.
New romantic shirt.
That's it. I'll go and dig that out with me fluffy collars.
That's it. That's what you need. But so we're going to do it. Are we doing it the Saturday night? I think we are.
Yes, we're going to do the Saturday night. So the Saturday's the 31st of October, end of the month. So it'll be a live PM auction. Obviously, bidding wise, it'll be on the Flory Models site.
Yeah.
But if you want to join in and watch us and have a giggle and all the rest of it, it'll be streaming live across the over YouTube, no doubt, and all the rest of it.
Yeah. But, so when we put it up, when Andy puts pictures up, because we'll take the pictures, we'll do what we've done, and then we're going to. Unfortunately, we're going to have some terms and conditions.
Yes, we will be this.
We're not going to this today.
No,
but we are going to be on the thing. There are going to be some terms and conditions, and we would appreciate it if you could abide by them. That would be very nice and save us a headache, shall we say? At the end of the day.
That's all right. I'll do a full disclosure before we start the auction. By bidding, you're agreeing to.
Well, yeah, exactly.
New kidney whenever I need it. Some bone marrow.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it.
Blood plasma, everything.
Blood plasma, anything you need,
wisdom teeth. But yeah, we're all going to do a Halloween auction at the end of the month. And then obviously, not a week later, we'll be full on Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
Will be pretty much, won't it?
I think it is, yes. Yes, it was. Is it the week or the week after that?
The week after, I'm not sure actually.
I think it's the week after, yeah, it was. It's the 10th, 11th, isn't it? Or I think it was 12th. Would have been Telford, if I remember rightly. See, look, no, we haven't got it this year, don't care, whatever. I'm not having a mass panic this year out there.
We can do whatever we want.
I know.
So we'll be doing, obviously, the full weekend on, and there'll be special sales.
Yeah, I was going to say, the whole point is what we're going to do. We're going to be demoing stuff. We'll probably be reviewing stuff. We'll be doing building stuff. But at the same time, stealing it clearly from Amazon, we'll be doing like flash sales of stuff. Obviously, we'll be having discount codes and coupons and things like that available, which will be on the PM store and the Flory Model store as well. So that'll be crossing over with both of us and going right the way through. So.
I think we might have some little mini auctions, I think, as well.
Yeah, we can do little mini auctions as we go.
Put some up and go, right, well, we're bidding starting on this kit.
Yeah.
Fire away and,
Definitely. So what we'll be doing, literally, we'll be having a morning show, we'll have an afternoon show and an evening show. So we do basically 6 shows over 2 days, and we'll go through it on that one. That's the plan for it. We might even be on the Friday night yet. We don't know. We'll see how we go. Because it'll be set up. We'll have to do setting up like we usually do.
Setting up the beer into the glass.
Yes, that's it. Sit here and just have a thing, because that'll be the difference. Instead of like freezing completely, putting the stand together and everything else, crawling out of there in the pitch black and rain as we do every year with Telford, trying to find a chippy and then hitting the beer, it'll be slightly different. We can sit here with chips and beer and just
chips and beer, absolutely. Living the dream.
That's it. That's our life. That's how we roll.
Yeah. Well, I'll be happy with that. I've not got a problem because, like you say, I'll be sat in the warm.
Yeah, that's it. This will be the difference. I won't be freezing. Every year we freeze, so this year it'll be nice and warm.
And we'll be sat down instead of stood up for 12 hours or however long we.
That's it. Yeah, doing 18-hour days on your feet. Yeah, no, it'd be lovely this year.
We're not having a aching back by.
I was going to say we might get used to this. So when you go to Telford, hopefully, if it is on like 2021, it might just be screens on the stand. And we'll be at home. Because we've learned we can do it all from home. It'd be great without having to do a show.
So just on other news on pre-orders as well, because I have had messages obviously about when this coming in and that coming in. I'm a bit in the dark until things turn up, especially these F-15 Eagles.
Yes.
I've had another couple of messages of, do you know when they're coming in? I don't. They just sort of tip up because of how they're ordered from Japan. Now, I think I said last week, Obico are doing 3 containers this month.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the 14th now.
I was going to say, we're halfway
so I might be giving them a bit of a ring just to see, if anything's coming in, and if they know anything. Because I know nothing until, like I say, it happens, basically. I get a phone call wanting money.
Yes, that's it. Can you pay for this? Yeah.
On these pre-orders. So yeah, I mean, they all do. They've got to be soon because the time is up.
Yes, definitely.
So hopefully, if there's not been no massive delay, then they should be here soon. So yeah,
cool.
All good. So I think we've got some questions, haven't we?
We have got a few questions.
Let's have some questions, and then
Molly, you've got to wait. Okay, my sidekick is literally looking at me like, okay. Carlos says, "Hi Matt, any word on the Zucamori F4s?" Well, as we say, beginning of next month, isn't it? Sort of told November.
Yeah, we're going to get the F4s is November.
Yeah.
Which is the one he's on about because he's got one on pre-order. I can remember the name, and then obviously the rest of the family, I think, is due in this week. I think they're ordering or possibly early next week. So yeah, that'll be the normal one. So yes, like I say, for the F48 November.
Cool. Robert, we answered this question on last Thursday's show.
Oh, I weren't here. What happened? Because
you weren't here. So basically, just to recap it, he was asking about making the F-15I Ram out of an F-15E, I was thinking. And again, if you watch back, because we discussed it at length and went right the way through, so it's probably better on that one. So have a look back on last Thursday's show, because we answered it on there for you.
Yeah.
Keith says, sales strategy. We live in an old farmhouse in the north of Scotland. At this time of year, mice find their way into the house and the modelling. Sorry, I'm just making sure we're on the right questions. The modelling room. They have shown a liking for the blue soft sponges at Flory Models of the FMS 24, which is that one. So it's the black and the blue one.
They like chewing on them.
They like it. Obviously, it has a certain smell to it. I've always known that, because when we get a delivery of that particular one come in, you can smell it. It's very fragrant. I don't know why. The others don't smell of anything, but those do have a sort of lemony smell.
Right.
Anyway, they also have a parchment for peanut butter, which I have successfully baited in a trap in that room. Having caught 3 mice in the last 2 days, oh my God, where's this going? All have resulted in me having to reorder more sanding sponges. Is the mouse invention of my of my model building area, part of a cunning sales strategy on the Flooring Models team. Yes, that's it. We bait them with like peanut butter inside, so
we've trained them for years to do.
Yes, that's it. We have squadrons of them across the land trying to find. Hi Phil and Matt, is PM going to stock the AMT 007 Mustang from Diamonds Are Forever?
Yes, if I could get him. He's not come in yet, Rob, but yes, definitely. Because that's a Mach 1 Mustang, isn't it?
It is, yes.
I quite like the Mach 1 Mustangs.
Yeah, no, they are nice. Proper muscle car.
So, yes, yeah.
Cool. Thomas says, have you heard anything about the new Great Wall Hobbies 1/48 scale SU27 UB kit? Can see it being sold on eBay, but over here in the US it's dead silent.
Yeah, we're getting them in.
We've got them on order. They are coming in.
The UB, all of them, all the SU27 family. Oh, that's one he talked about. Well, have you seen? There's a new company bringing out an SU33.
I did. Yes, it's the Navy flanker, the D flanker D. Yes, I did. It does look very tasty, doesn't it? Who are they?
It's got drop flats and everything.
It's two-stage drop flats. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of the company. I can't even remember what they called, to be honest. I've written it down.
There's a picture here now. I'll edit it in.
Yeah, he'll edit it in and do a voiceover.
Yeah, that's it.
But yes, it does look very nice. So hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on that. I don't know who's going to be importing it, if anybody.
Again, it's one of them things. It's buses, because I've got Kitty Hawk's brand new SU30 SM down here as well.
Yeah.
So it's like flankers everywhere again. But it's nice to see the D, the C flanker, because you don't see many of them.
No. Is it the Kinetic one? Is that a 33?
Yes.
Which was not their kit. It was somebody else's.
It's not their kit. It was somebody else's, which I've still got somewhere. I've got it. So in my stash.
You can't get actually though. You can't get that now. You know.
No.
So.
Yes, it wasn't Kinetic's own kit. They bought that kit in and boxed it. But yeah, that's the only decent one out there at the moment. So it'd be interesting. But this one's got proper little actuators on all the flaps, and it's two-stage flaps on the C flanker as well. And also the wing fold looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So
it does look a nice kit. Yeah, it'd be nice to get one in and review it and have a look at it.
Yeah, we'll get them in and see if we can find a place to get them. But again, as I say, SU27s, we ordered them with the big restock that we got coming in Great Wall, so they're due in soon.
Yes, definitely.
Very, very soon. Stuart said, just a little rant about Airfix Hornby. My local model shop put a small order of 8 items in with Airfix, and it took their office 4 weeks to process the order, and then 2 weeks in the warehouse for it to be sent to send one item. Sorry, I've lost my place here. Where are we? To pick and send one item. And then another for the second, and so on. After 8 weeks, sorry, the squeaking. Molly, not in here. Sorry, dog's got the squeaky toy out. Typical. After 8 weeks, it's getting really annoying with them. The shop is only 2 miles from the office and less than 10 minutes from the warehouse. He's even offered to go and collect it, but was told by the warehouse master, is that a thing, that it wasn't able to agree to it. Probably because of COVID, don't want people around. Do you and Matt have the same problem? P.S. Still on the Tiger Moth, Stuart. We don't buy direct from Airfix, do we? That's the thing. We get ours via another source.
Yes.
Which seems odd, but works out better.
Yeah, it's easier.
It's a lot easier. Yeah, probably. Yeah. There you go. I think we've just answered that question. Yeah, it might be worth going to some other company for Airfix because, as I say, the price isn't much different, and as I say, you get it next day.
The thing is, I can see the point. If you're like 2 mile away,
yeah, you think just pop round and get it, because that's no different from us with certain people, which we get direct and pop round. Yeah, I mean,
I can see the old point, because obviously we're close to the public with the COVID thing. You've got to do it. I can see.
Yeah.
But as from thingy, surely why can't they just have a click and collect system? We're 2 mile away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get that. It's a bit odd, but there we go.
Definitely.
Oh, look, battle for the Reichstag.
Yes. Hi guys, just wondering if you're planning on stocking the upcoming Italy Battle of the Reichstag due in November. Wasn't this kit out before? I'm sure
they've done a few. I don't know if
saw. Perhaps it was a different one. Yeah,
they've done a few because, like we were just saying before, because you showed me that it's very esky sort of the diorama that they used to do back in the 80s and stuff. Which are, if you can find them, are so collectible. They're unbelievable now. The prices they fetch. So you get like your vac form base, don't you? Your figures and your couple of vehicles and whatever. But that's actually quite impressive. You get a full Reichstag by looks of it. Almost.
Well, to be honest, I'm looking at this now. I thought it was going to be just, not being funny, like a lot of them was, a paper board or a cardboard board with, but that looks like a proper, and a bit of vac form, but that looks like a proper building, three-dimensional building, and the base looks,
decent.
Very good. It looks like it's full of everything. So I'd be interested to get one of them. Yeah,
we can get them, and I mean, I can get them up on pre-order if anybody's interested. I can get Andy to stick them up on pre-order, and if people are interested, then yeah,
definitely. But I think it'd be one of those ones, be an interesting one to have a look at, because again, very nice. Got the little man running up with a flag look to stick it on the roof.
Yeah.
So
it's
cool. Very cool item.
Is that Tiger Tank got any fuel in it?
He's probably not. He's just a parking brick with a turret. That's why they didn't bury it. George says, "Hello Phil and Matt. Put me down for the pre-order for the Zvezda C138, but I've noticed it was closed to pre-orders. If you've still have to pre-order again, if the pre-order's closed, it is closed. But sometimes we have some left over, don't we? So they'll make it into the store, but you might have to pay a bit more." Because obviously we have a pre-order price, so it's not fair, because obviously the guys who have pre-ordered it and been waiting, that's sort of what we do. But usually we have some left over, or people might drop out and things like that. So they'll make their way onto the actual PM store anyway, but you say it might be a little bit more than the pre-order price.
Yeah.
Clive, hi Phil and Matt. Any idea when you'll be getting perfect plastic putty?
Well, possibly actually soon if I can get a thing, because we've opened a new account with a company that actually now stock it. Right. So as long as they've got it, because I need all the details so I can log in and have a look at their stocks. But fingers crossed, they do stock perfect plastic putty and deluxe materials stuff.
Yeah.
So as soon as the account's open, I can check, and if they got it, we'll be getting it back in 100%.
Yes, because it is good.
And stuff. The other one, actually, talking of putties, is the Squadron putty that we had in. Seems to have, I can't get it again.
Oh.
Which I think now they've redone it, reformulated it, is a very nice putty, because that's obviously the perfect plastic putty one. God, that's a mouthful. Is water based, but the other one is acetone based. Would you say?
Yes.
Solvent based.
Solvent based, yeah.
Which is nice, because obviously you've got your thinners and stuff. You can thin it down and make sort of a nice sort of liquid filler.
Yes, that's right.
And it's really quite good for it, because it's. I compare it to the Tamiya one, which obviously we can't get in this country. So hopefully that'll be back as well. I don't know if that's a thing with obviously Squadron themselves, or all the stockists over here not bringing it back in. I don't know, but it'd be nice actually if we could find another source for that, because obviously we've got quite a few fillers we sell, and they're all.
And I need a load.
Oh, you'll need more than. I think you'll need a bit more, something substantial.
I need tons of it, because I've got very large holes in this that need some filling.
U-Pole 2-pack car grade filler for that, mate. Never mind.
Yeah, I might have to pop down auto quit.
I think you need some stuff. It'll look good. It'll be worth it.
It will, yes. It'll be fine. Honest. Just needs a lot of work. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Roger. Go on.
Just to say, Clive, as soon as we do get some, and you'll know.
Yeah, we'll make a song and dance. It'll be fine. Roger says, for info, I've just joined the Imperial War Museum at Duxford. Is this more of a question, Roger, we're thinking, for the other show? If it could be any information for reference photos, I tend to visit at least once a month, so could get some shots for members. But don't forget, it goes out to the world now, Roger, so you're now getting it for anybody on the world who wants shots. Okay, so yes, he was saying, for info, I've learned that the crowbar on the Spitfire door is red outside. Roger, it's not, it's black. There's a story to this, because everyone paints it wrong, because Tamiya got a lot to answer for in the modelling world. Tamiya painted theirs red and told everyone to do it red. It's not. It was only they were red because the crowbar was fitted as an emergency item, obviously with post-war Spitfires, and they painted them red. World War II Spitfires, they were black or metal colour, because that's all it was. But so actually, it's quite a famous faux pas by that we have to blame them, because now it's become folklore that everybody paints theirs red because Tamiya said so, and actually Tamiya were wrong, because all the World War II ones were just metal with the crowbar on the door.
I think that's the problem when sort of manufacturers obviously take museum pieces to do their stuff off, because either they've cobbled together with other bits of other stuff, or they painted the wrong colour, or like you've just said, obviously if they've took it, it's got a red one, obviously they probably didn't know any better at the time, and it should have been black. And it's such a minefield, isn't it? You know, especially when you're dealing with I'm talking
restored, and as I say, we've often spoken about the Frankenstein aircraft and armoured vehicles, especially. You know, there's a lot of armour that's floating around which are cobbled together to make museum pieces, and they're not accurate at all.
No,
you know,
but you can say that replica race cars.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I come out of that industry, and I know because I worked on some, and you know, what worked, or you know, to get them. Because obviously parts are, you've either got to get them reproduced because they're not produced anymore. So you get something that fits.
Yes.
You have to compromise somewhere along the line because of cost of restoring. Or, well, that's available. I can get that bit from him and a bit of wheeler dealer in and whatever else you're doing. To get it to look like a complete sort of vehicle, shall we say. Yes. But it's,
They are, definitely. It's one of those ones where, as you say, sometimes, I know a lot was said on yesterday's show, we were talking about decals, and Edard apparently got the decals wrong, which is unusual because Edard normally are pretty good at doing their research and the various bits and pieces. But it does happen, you know, and again, it depends on how much of a, I wouldn't say rivet counter, but you know, how much of a a follower you are of a particular aircraft. You'll know it because, you know, of research you've done yourself. Like me with Hornets, as I say, I'm a complete anorak when it comes to the F-18 Hornet. So I look at some people's and immediately it's like, well, that's the wrong vent system on it, or that server. It's fine. I'm not worried myself. As long as it looks like a Hornet, it's fine. But you'll get other people out there and they're like, I think you'll find on that Tuesday they were actually painted a slightly different shade, you know, and it's like, okay, here we go. You know, clearly not me. So
no.
That's why I like doing these as my hobby. It's like, right, okay. Are you going to tell me it's wrong?
Well, but you will, because Star Wars is such a massive, famous genre, and yes, you will get people who tell you it's wrong.
Then this could be Chewbacca's bowcaster. Well, hopefully it will be. But it's a case of, but which film? Which franchise? I haven't said which one it is, and is it Chewie's? Because if you go your homework on these, obviously the race of Chewbacca people make their own. So each one's different. Wookiees, that's it. Wookiees build their own as part of their rite of passage. So each one is different.
All right. Is that on the Wikipedia thing?
Wikipedia,
Wikipedia, is it?
Wikipedia, that's actually, it will say it on there. So yes.
Yeah, good old Wikipedia.
So, but yeah, that's the thing. So in some ways it's quite nice when you work on props and stuff, because it's like, oh, that's not accurate. Who's to say it's from there? Different one. Slightly different.
Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it, when you get people arguing about sci-fi?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That would never have happened.
And?
Yeah, and?
It's not real.
Yeah, that's it. It's not real, it is made up. Definitely.
God, you can have a debate about something that's not real.
No.
Anyway,
definitely.
that's a completely different show, isn't it?
Yes, that's another can of worms still we can get into.
Yeah. Let's edit that bit out. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want
Anyway, I think that'll do it for us then. Obviously, I don't know. Are you on tomorrow night?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how his internet's holding up.
Technically, Mr. Buller's not here, is he?
No, he's not. He's on the Isle of Wight, isn't he?
Well,
why is he there anyway?
It's Lynn's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, right. Is it Lynn's birthday tomorrow? I didn't know what I thought it was. Yeah. Okay.
So don't forget to message her to say happy birthday. It's
message her.
It's a big one. Better not say it, but you know, it's a big one for her tomorrow. So that's why they've gone
40.
I tell you what, they look, mate, of being in quarantine. I would risk it. Would you?
This is Lynn and John. Obviously, they were on holiday when the COVID broke out in New Zealand and got quarantined and stuck over there.
Proper stuff, didn't they?
So UK's going down the toilet again as we speak, and now they've gone to the Isle of Wight. So we're thinking they're going to get stuck on the Isle of Wight.
If I them, I'd be buying a dinghy just in case they just row it back. But they could be stuck on the Isle of Wight. So I might not see John for a few weeks.
Yeah, he might be offline. If not, he'd be on his phone like last time doing it.
Yeah. So I'll be around tomorrow anyway, even if I'm in the background, because the internet seems to be a hell of a lot better than it was last week.
Yes,
thankfully.
Definitely.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. Okay then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Pleasure as always. As I said, we'll be with you on again tomorrow night live. So if you want to join us from there, you can get it on the usual suspect places, and you can watch us live, or if not, the recordings are up there as always. So don't forget, as always, you can get everything you need from PM. We've got everything coming in daily. Stocks are changing, paints are coming and going, and various bits and pieces. So just keep an eye on there, and hopefully we'll have the bits that you need. Right. Yes, thank you very much for joining us, then, Mr. Matt. We will see you soon. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.